Come one, come all, we're here to kill them all. It's not what it appears to be. It is just the LSU Odyssey. Oh. LSUODYSSEY.com presents your host, Lon Phillips Solomon. What is up? It is me, a humanoid device who is calling the ether and reporting to you with info with. What if I were to tell you that Texas and Oklahoma are gonna join the SEC? Yeah, two teams that LSU absolutely beat the shit out of in 2019. Two teams, two programs that are relevant once every year. And if you're actually Texas, it's once every 20 years. Texas has not been relevant on the field since the 2009-10 season, where Colt McCoy took them all the way to the title game, where Colt McCoy gets knocked out in the first quarter, broken shoulder, dislocated shoulder, whatever, by Alabama. First Saban title at Alabama. Texas has not been anywhere near a New Year's Six Bowl or anything like that since. If someone can correct me, it's got to be like once they went to the Cotton Bowl and they had 4 losses that year. That doesn't count here, okay? We're talking about Texas being back at the top where Texas should actually be, with all that money, all those resources, all those homegrown athletes that they miss out on. It's got to be in the hundreds, the number of 4 or 5-star great players who became NFL dailies who Texas missed out on. The number has to be astronomical. And that includes Mac Brown as being the coach as well. Not just, Tom Herman and all that, Charlie Strong. But, what if I were to tell you Texas and Oklahoma are joining the SEC? I know it's been a few days since the news came out. I heard about this a week ago, and I literally was like, sounds like bullshit to me. But if it's true, it's not going to work. It's going to be a dumb idea. And I just kind of put my foot down about it and was like, meh. And here we are. And now it's literally one of the biggest realignment stories in college football history. 2 schools with that type of tradition, pageantry, history, and it has nothing to do with being Southern or from the South, especially from the Southeast. It's all about Texas, Oklahoma. This is the Midwest of the United States of America. South Midwest. And then Oklahoma, it's still the South Midwest, but it's you're getting right into the middle of this country. It is not the Southeastern Conference. Okay, we're getting to the point where these things don't mean anything. Tradition, names of even the conferences just don't really mean anything. Like Southeastern Conference, you got all these guys from all over the country, it's interesting. But, considering that these 2 teams have had a monopoly, you can't really include Texas, but Oklahoma wins the Big 12 every single season. Why would they want to give that up to join the SEC? For money? For recruiting? It seems like the dumbest gamble possible to me. Why? Why would you throw all that away when you basically have a walk-in spot to the Final Four. If you finish with one loss, Oklahoma, even in one of the weakest damn divisions, weakest conferences in this country, in college football, and with one loss, Oklahoma, in a shitty conference, you can still leap over about 3 or 4 other better, deserving SEC schools and get into the Final Four, into the CFP playoff. And you're willing to throw that away for what? For some big TV money, some SEC deal, some blah, 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 blah. There's something going on behind the scenes that's forcing this, and it's all about money. These things always are. You know, there's a lot of people who are celebrating this, thinking, oh, this is a great move, this is great for college football, blah, 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 blah. You know, this is going to be... But I just feel like those are just people who are really into big headlines and shows of power and strength and public displays of, kicking some ass and that type of thing. And they love when, people like Greg Sankey is putting a boot up someone's ass, that type of stuff. And it's great. But at the same time, it's probably going to dismantle the competitive structure of college football. You could look at this and actually compare this to the Super League that was almost started in European soccer, just barely. Right before Euro 2020 began, there was all this talk of the Super League, where it was going to be the best teams in European football under, like the NCAA here, there's UEFA, a European governing body that goes, manages the top flight soccer clubs in Europe. So you got, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester City, Manchester United, Tottenham, it was even included in there, Arsenal, Bayern Munich. Sorry, I take that back. Bayern Munich was one of the ones not involved. I'm trying to think of if there was even a German club involved. PSG, I think, was involved as well. But for instance, you got all these big top dogs who are there, holding the cards, who hold all the money, all the rights. They hold all of their divisions and their leagues at gunpoint, basically, if they leave. They hold them hostage with their deals, with their great players, everything. They keep those leagues operable. They keep them financially viable. And they're the reason their TV deals are worth such hefty fine cash. You've got that same thing happening with the SEC. And nothing says that more than when the biggest teams from the Big 12 Conference want to go to the SEC by 2025. That is just crazy to me. That is just absolutely nuts to me that they would actually want to do this. I don't understand why they want to do this. Clout, matchups, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. Both of those programs are going to have significant growing pains. I don't care how many great athletes they recruit heading into that inaugural season or two, because there's going to at least be 2 or 3 seasons with a lot of growing pains when they get adjusted to the SEC, especially, Oklahoma joining the SEC West. Good luck. Put Oklahoma in the SEC West this year. Put Texas in the SEC West this year, and you tell me how good they're going to do. You show me what they're capable of against even a Mississippi State, Ole Miss. Because we just don't see that on a regular basis. If Oklahoma, they want to say, we're sick of hearing all this stuff about us losing and not being good enough to play in the SEC, well, here we come. All right. Well, you better be ready to back that up. You better be ready to beat LSU in that first year. You better be ready to grab 3 or 4 wins against the best schools, the best programs in the SEC in your first year or two. or you all know what we're going to be saying. You're not ready. You're not fit. You're not meant. You don't belong. I'm not that closed off. I'm willing to accept and allow Texas and Oklahoma into my mind as SEC opponents. That's something that doesn't make sense to me, but I'm willing to accept it, as I have no control over it. But I just have no clue what to think about this. I don't think this is a good thing for college football. I think there's some things that are going on right now that are absolutely destabilizing college football. Some are good, some are bad, some are needed, some are really unnecessary. But this is going to be one of the most pivotal calendar years in college football sports history, without doubt, without question. Name, image, and likeness being approved would have already put the 2021 right in that area. But you add NIL, you add a 12-team playoff expansion being prepared, and you've got Texas, Oklahoma joining the SEC and potentially creating the first ever super conference. It's the death of the Big 12 immediately. At that point, Big 10 and Pac-12 may as well combine. I'm serious. At that point, the Big 10 and Big 12 may as well combine into a super conference of their own. This is going to get crazy, and I don't know what's up, but it seems like there's some schools that are okay leaving behind the others. And it's about money. It's about money at the end of the day. It's not about the kids. It's not about eligibility. It's not about academics. It's not about futures. It's not about championships. It's about money. Frankly, it's kind of pathetic, kind of sad. But that's where we are. We'll see how this develops. Go Tigers!